Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspired by dreams shop to get the latest on our new drops. Okay, today I'm gonna take y'all on a little ride, man. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of things that, I wanted to get to you guys, and I just wanted to break a few things going on up to date with a lot of the allegations and things that's just been going on in our community, and just break down a few things that I just took a look at for myself. Now, when it comes to hip hop, you can always get ready for surprises, and you can always, some of them are good, some of them are bad. In these times, they don't seem to be too good. And I just want to start this one off with the continuation of my last live and just catching us all up to what we've been last speaking on. So the last live, we all heard, Jayz is up for these allegations against him, placed by Tony Buzbee, on this 13-year-old sexual abuse. And we also understand that it's not criminal yet. But there's a lot of other things that surrounds this that I just wanted to bring back to you guys. If you guys didn't notice, I dropped a video on just the public opinion on just how they felt about this situation. Some people felt one way about it and others felt the other way. So I just wanted to bring everything together. What I did was I said, I told myself, Mickey, go take another look. Take another look, see what people are saying, because when I seen people's conversations on it, they did have some points to it, but they weren't substantial enough to just point the finger. So when I went back in there, look, I started deep diving into certain information. And these are some of the things that I'm going to bring to you guys. It's just allegations and just how I feel in this situation, and some things that can be possibly true and some things that can necessarily be, just totally off. Now, the first thing I wanted to highlight when it comes down to this whole case, I've seen, the back and forth with Jay-Z going with the lawyer. I want to tell you guys, remember when I ended it, this could end bad. And I want to start from that point on how this could end bad. This case, right? Okay, so what we are seeing in these federal cases are people with the abuse of power. Okay, so when we hear things like, and just relating to the Diddy situation, we hear things like, he was trying to stop people outside, and all of these fall into the category of, like hit for hires. They're all federal, it's the abuse of power. You hear a lot of this going down in a lot of big companies like it's called the antitrust insert. It's all this, it's just these things are put into these systems to regulate the abuse of power. So in other words, let's just say, not taking it off the topic, but let's just say, for example, Google. Okay, so when you go to Google something, you Google it. But Google is not, we are so used to saying Google something that's the name of that company. So now if Google opens up a Google Chrome, or Google this, or Google that, they're monopolizing over the other people that own other browsers and like Internet Explorer that they can't monopolize, because this one company is taking and expanding off of that. So that's when the antitrust comes in. And when it comes down to hip hop, the abuse of power, making someone do something that they're not most likely to do in order for you to get something, this is when it gets all messed up. Okay, so a lot of things hit me, and it just hit me like a bat in the dark, man. Okay, so now they're saying that it was 24 years ago. And these are just my speculations, you guys. Like, remember I told you I'm going to take us on a ride this morning. I'm going to take us on a ride. So just listen close and hear what I got to say, because I think people are going in the wrong direction. Now, they said it was 24 years old. 24 years behind. Now, when I thought about that, I started going through the ages and things like that. And I said, there's only one possibility that could be. And that person, I thought, because, okay, so 24, Tiara Marie is 37 years old. And 24 years back, she would have been 13. And I know she dated Ray J. And I know on Ray J's, show, she had a problem with alcohol abuse. And I'm not just saying that she's the one, but I'm just saying, I was just, in my head, that it just hit me like, could it be? And I thought about it and I said to myself, the reasons why this is how Jay-Z could probably get in trouble if these allegations get crazy. Just on his side, he cannot, whatever he does, he cannot do anything or get found for doing anything outside of stopping people from trying to do certain things. Or that is all overpowered. That is what you call people are going to be scared to do certain things or say certain things because he has the power of getting somebody hurt outside of this. You see what I'm saying? So when that hit my head, I said, wait, well, if she dated Ray J at a point, and if you're dealing with alcohol and you have alcohol abuse problems, most likely you're not the most secretive person. You might hold some secrets, but this whole thing, and don't just take it from me. I just thought like the reason why Ray J was probably just going out there, he knew more information, and I feel like he might have maybe spilled the beans a little bit to Nicki. Never know. This is just what was coming to my head, and I'm being truthful to you guys, and I'm just trying to be transparent so you guys can have an understanding of where I was angling this. And I'm like, so wait, that means to tell me that she was 13 at that point. Yeah, and she had alcohol problems. That possibly could be the case, and there could be a possibility. The worst thing Jay-Z could do right now, as far as Jay-Z, Diddy, anybody that's being faced with these allegations, is go outside and try to stop or hurt somebody from families or anything, because that is what puts you in prison for the rest of your life. It's the over abuse of power. So when I thought of the whole thing, I'm like, man, and I don't, and like I still hold from what I said last live. There's not enough evidence for you to say, Jay-Z did this, did that. And it stains the man's character because people have their own thoughts on it. But I just feel like if that's the case, most likely what's probably going to happen is it's going to be the person will have to be put in a, if they have proof of any things going on behind the scenes that we possibly haven't known of, people trying to block people, all of this thing it's just a big mess. So that's the only person that the age and the numbers kind of related. She's 37 now, 24 years, she was 13. That could be a possibility. So that's the only thing that made me say, well, that's the only thing. But because I also knew at that time she was, I remember, because I used to roll with Big Cap, DJ Big Cap, rest in peace to Big Cap. And I remember Tiara Marie, she was like, there was a lot of people at that time taking advantage of people that's trying to break into the industry. And I've seen her, she was moving around with different guys. I believe in the club. I'm not sure I don't remember who it was, but she was moving around with somebody in the clubs. And, they were like kind of close. And I feel like everywhere she went, because in those times, there's a lot of people we are noticing that were getting taken advantage of, trying to get their record deals, and people were trying to sleep with them, especially if they're pretty. And not to say who knows whoever's age, but it's just like, the game at that point, it was just straight disgusting. Now I look back and I see all the things that's been happening. It just makes me think, like, I see how R. Kelly and these guys fell into this whole rabbit hole of, because the over sexualization, you got the fans in front of you, there's no age limits on this thing, there's young, old, and he is falling in love with the beginning stages of his life dating younger women, and it's disgusting. So when I thought of this whole thing, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I don't want to cross or X anybody out, but if that's the only thing I can come up with, I can't give you guys a description of the person, because the person, what we're hearing right now up to date with this whole situation is they're saying that when Jay-Z said those claims, you should make it criminal, they are possibly taking it to make it criminal. So I don't know if they will overturn, whatever they have going on. But and another thing is behind this, it's sad, all of this information should have been presented correctly. But in these types of situations, when you're dealing with celebrities, you're dealing with people trying to hide their identity, 9 out of 10 times you're dealing with people covering up money, covering up things, and things are happening behind the scenes. So when I heard all that, I thought to myself, like, who else? It's got to be, secrets are not hard to keep unless they're within the people that you can actually trust. And if you deal with that industry, I know most likely 9 out of 10 times more people know what's been going on more than we do. Now, like even I think about it like there's certain people. It has to be within you to take advantage of someone else, whether it's sexually, for their money, for their talent, whatever. You have to have like ulterior motives in the back of your head. I just don't understand that about people. If you love somebody, you love somebody. You fall in love with somebody and you're gonna fight and you want to show people you're gonna be with that person forever. Yeah, you do what you have to do. But in an industry where the sexualization is just over popularized, and then you have the youth going into it, it's sad that they can be taken and used. And I don't want to say, and because I have no proof of that. That's just my whole, that when I was breaking it down in my head, I'm saying there's not really too many avenues you can take with Jay-Z, because his business, it's not really out there like that. All we know is what we've seen, and some of the stuff we heard is just speculations and just people, assumption of what they think things are. But there's a lot of people, you can read it in their face. You can read it in their face that they know more and they're willing to stand behind it. So it's going to be don't think that this case is just poof, blow out the way because someone has money. No, this is a very serious issue, and there's a lot of seriousness going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. So this week, we might just see a person just put on their big girl panties and just say, well, it's me, and I'm stepping to the forefront, and this is what I'm doing. And another thing that I also wanted to bring to you guys: what happens if Diddy now, in desperation, where they have him, what happens if Diddy is saying that he participated with particular people and he's telling people? We don't really necessarily know where these things are coming from. So I don't want to X anything out, but I just don't want to highlight things that's not necessarily has, the proper information behind it. But just when I was breaking it down and everything, and even when I heard, Jamie Foxx and he did the stand-up and everything, I feel like it's kind of iffy with the Jamie thing, because he speaks on it like, and how did I know that it had something to do with pills? And I'm not saying, I just, if in these times you have to really look past the celebrity and really understand what's going on. And people are trying to use pills to keep up in bed. People are trying to use pills to keep up without sleeping, using pills to keep, all of this stuff using pills is going in your bloodstream and is poisoning people. And everybody, they think that, if one person gets surgery or this person do this, that when all of these things have different reactions to different people. People so busy trying to do the same things that the reactions could possibly take your life away. So when I heard it, I was just like, and I was iffy on it, you guys, because not only is, okay, you're telling a joke about it, but at the same time, Jamie, it's hard for us to digest the joke the way you want us to, because we seen that you were so close to Diddy. You told us about parties, how when you walked in, Diddy was on the other side and it was just, you explained the party to the T. So for you not knowing that anything, possibly anything could be going on, just knowing his character, knowing his residence, knowing the type of things that were going on at the time, it doesn't sit right with the victims that's been going through this, because it's hard enough for them to explain what they've been going through when so many people in the world, they're so in love praising celebrities that they can't see past what can possibly happen. I'm not that type of person. I will take another look at it. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Jay-Z is not my number one rapper. Of course, Jay, Nas, Biggie, of course. But it's still a responsibility that comes in content creating and me putting out the right information for you guys, regardless of whoever feels whatever. It doesn't matter. I speak my truth and I speak how I feel. And now I also feel that there's more people that know more about this in the industry that can maybe possibly put a different type of light on this, because what we're seeing now, it looks like we have a side where we see Diddy getting, he's getting his information and all his court stuff, and there's the people, we knew there was more people added in, we just didn't know who it was. I heard speculations about, oh, it's going to be Jay, but I just don't throw people's name on something and just, want to just throw them in the fire. But now when I hear this and I thought back to myself, I said, man, I don't know how they're going to take, that girl going to have to protect herself, because if anything goes wrong with that girl, if it, God forbid it's her, Tiara Maria, whatever, just my feeling on it, she's going to have to protect herself, and she's also going to have to step up and put on big girl panties and explain what is actually going on. If it's not her and it's somebody else that we possibly don't even know, it's going to be that much harder for her to land that story unless she comes out and shows her face and explains this thing face to face with the people, as well as the people before you go into court, because you're not dealing with now. He said, I'm right now, I feel like it more weighs in on Jay's side because of the fact that even though you can point things out like the Foxx, I heard so many different things. People put things together, even numbers together. Look, right now, when it comes to evidence, we don't have that. So I don't want to just throw the man in there, but it's just sad as a whole, as hip hop, and just not those two guys. Let's not deal with just Jay and Diddy, just hip hop as a whole. You mean to tell me a place where we did something so beautiful as far as like making music, and you can't take advantage of your own people and then behind the scenes go and try to harm your own people for trying to look, listen. That's what I told you guys. Y'all always remember, and y'all know I'm never lying to you guys. Y'all remember the first lies when I was telling you about, oh, they think they have power, but all they are promotion. I told you guys that. Everybody wants to feel like, oh, I got power because they got a few dollars, but they don't realize that the price has gone so high and the cost of living is so high that the people that they think the first beginning millionaires, they think that's rich. That ain't even rich in this world no more. It ain't rich in this world no more. They in the same bucket as everybody else, trying to kick down the people that's a little bit under them. Don't you see how this cycle works? The more that because you got to understand, where is the money going? Where is the money being funded? Where is the money being cycled to? The money that they're making is going right back to the people that gave them the money in some instances because of different ownerships in different companies. I told you, right? Stephen King, he had owned media, he owned different media things, and he just got out of there because he said it wasn't even profitable. So it goes to show you where things are going. Now, when it comes to these types of situations where this might possibly go criminal, we got to also look and see other people in the industry. You cannot, like, especially with hip hop, you cannot go around fooling people and give them this fake you, and then behind the scenes you're hurting people. Because look who, if it be different, look who you're hurting. You want the same people you're hurting to back you in these same situations. Does that sound right to you? I mean, just the arrogance in that makes people think that you can hurt people and still come back around like you didn't do any. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And to think that there's not victims out there that actually are telling the truth. This is why this whole situation makes it messy. Because yes, we're gonna have a lot of people. We're gonna have people lying, and we're gonna have people telling the dead truth. Now, how we come to terms to see what's what is that's gonna be the tricky part. But what we know in these times, as far as like just the public opinion, people have their conversation. It's happening, you guys. Like I always tell you, it's happening. And just because somebody's falling in love with it like a celebrity, it doesn't blindfold other people that can see and read other people. So we just want to see what is going on and why do people, like, there has to be some kind of regulation on just the age limits on people dealing with, celebrity kids and things like that, because look what's going on. The person that's trying to help you is trying to sleep with you. So you got to be very careful. Don't let these, in our time, they used to, like, maybe they'll be like, people that they'll pretend like they're helping you, and they don't really taking you nowhere. They really want, it's like almost like a date, if you really think about it. You're always with the artist, and you got, after a while, they're gonna try to sleep with it's disgusting out there. So this is the things that's been going on. Some people have been taken advantage of, and some people have been lied on. You don't want to necessarily go out there and just start saying whatever about somebody, because that's not right either. I don't know what's this whole thing about bringing people down, and that's almost like in these times, that's almost like in our times that people just say, oh, they're a hater without, trying to solve the problem. And that's where that is staring off to. For me, if you're gonna argue on something, make sure you are direct and clear, and you can name names. Don't be the tough guy and then starts getting timid when it comes down to the names and things like that. Don't do that. Because I see this is opening a lot of skeletons for a lot of people in these types of situations. I can see that. I can see that it's a deep situation. But when you really look at it and how it came to be, we got to do better, and we got to treat each other better, and stop, because you're gonna have one side that believes it and one side that doesn't. The facts is always going to be the facts, and that's what has to be proven. But it's nasty out there. Hip hop is really, up to this point, it still hasn't fully registered. Like, Diddy just blew it all for like some chick. These guys are like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. I don't know. So that's gonna be a big fight. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm hearing. You know what? When it comes down to businesses in these times, they're very difficult. And I'm hearing now. James Harden, he had a restaurant, and he's being sued for just like, I guess, not him himself, but I guess he's the owner. So the people that were working there were given like over consumption of alcohol. So that person, I guess, probably ended up driving and getting into a car accident and passing away. Healing energy to their family. And just what I can take from that is, be on point. When a lot of people, they're boozed up and they're numbing themselves up in places where they need somebody with them to escort them around, or just to, somebody they can trust around them so they won't get hurt. And a lot of people are just numbing themselves up because people are hurt. People are hurt. Once we started uncovering, the fakeness that's been going on social media, and people start realizing, you just because you put up a picture of your man every once in 3 years, we understand your pain. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to buy the fake gifts and then wrap them up yourself to open them again. You don't have to do all of that. All of that type of stuff, you're starting to put yourself in a place of just artificial living. Nowadays, we're seeing people being more of themselves, and that's the reason why it always feels better when you express yourself and how you really feel, instead of people out here putting on this fake stuff. And the fake stuff is what got them here. It's what got them making people, like, look at the Kendrick and the Drake. What I tell you guys from the way in the beginning, I said this has really nothing to do with Kendrick and Drake. Those numbers have been boosted for the longest of time. You mean to tell me the way they make those numbers feel is like, the numbers be bigger than the albums. The numbers make the album feel like, oh, it's a classic, and then when you hear it, it's not weighing out. It's almost like the numbers are it's like a stimulation. Like it's almost like they make it seem like the world stops to listen to hip hop and then goes back to what they're doing, and it's not true. And it is so like telling on what people would do. They'll do anything to try to fool you. And the album could be good, but it's just not like billions good. So what you have to really see what's going on, and just because you like some person doesn't mean that something can be fishy or funny about it. It's just weird things. I don't get into that. That's why, like, I don't even I don't look at them numbers when I'm listening to people's music or anything. I don't, because at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily, it just says something, I don't know what's going on with so many bots nowadays. Trust me, a lot of these artists, if they could have bots run their life, they would. They would. Some of these artists don't even want to even do this anymore. They just doing it to just try to sustain the money that's coming in, because it ain't their truthful self. And it's and you, when you hear the music and you hear the body of work, or you hear a few songs, you're like, it just don't feel like it's gonna be here for long. It don't. And it's due to all of that kill, me versus you stuff. I told you eventually it's gonna have you just looking for that all the time. And that music is not. Why do you think like the Afro pop and everything? Because it has love attached to it. If you have death attached to your music, what do you think? Who do you? Like, you're gonna die. You're exercising your mind for a comfortable death. I'm not. It's just like it's beyond me how people don't understand how the music and sometimes people are so demonic in these times that they're sneaking little bit by bit in their music, in their videos, in their visuals. And these idiots, they talking about, oh no, it's conspiracy. Why is it that in 2020, I could say 2023 too, from 2023, all of these conspiracies have been. Now I'm seeing that I see that they have, they have a cease and desist on Jaguar Right. Look, I'm telling you what I tell you. But it's like, where's the information to combat that? Like, I hear people saying crazy this, crazy that. I told you, don't you ever tell somebody that they're crazy. They might know something more that you don't know. That same person you calling crazy could be the same person that you missed out on could save your life. That's how karma works. Now, as far as, I can't point the finger at these people. I don't know these people. All I'm hearing is this nonsense that I've been going through daily, and it's getting worse and worse. Because the industry, yes, what we thought it was, it is. It was. And to be honest with you, the things that I see now, it's splurts of it that I did see, and now I can look back, I can see like certain people, yeah, real weird stuff going on. Like weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes God saves you from the things that you think you want to go through. He saves you. Like, no, you shine over here because over there it's blinding. When, like I told you before, when they said that, and what's up with all of this? Like, these times are more, we're dealing with health. We're dealing with, why is there so many liquors? They selling so much liquor. Quit with all that liquor. Why are you trying to sell people so much liquor? What's wrong with you? If you came from the same places that had a liquor store in every corner, why the hell are you trying to get back in there with your face on a damn bottle? Nobody buying it. So they can live a short life like you and go through the pain that you went through and put themselves and drown in the bottle? Yo, go look at the people that's trying to uplift their people. In these times, they should be selling more of some healthy drinks, but liquor this, liquor that. Get out of here with that nonsense. I don't care. I don't even drink. Don't drink and fall for that stuff. It's not gonna be the top shelf. It ain't gonna be the top shelf. It's gonna be the top profit. We get what's going on. It's gonna be the top profit. That's the reason why Diddy and all these people that you hear fall out. Meanwhile, he lied to you guys, talking about it was his, and it wasn't even his. He didn't own it. But you want people to fight for you, and you're telling your own people lies about ownership, this and that. They'll tell you entrepreneur, this and that. Meanwhile, they work for the man. Shut up. Shut up. Get out of here with that, man. A lot of these people will fool you. You can believe who you want to believe. Trust me. They're going to put all the shiny and the nonsense in front of your face. You can believe that. But when you turn your back, you better watch and take a peek back because you can't trust those people. In these times, as we're living in the times of independence, we see more happier people in single households, without this relationship stuff. And the reason why is you have two people. One believes in the nonsense and the other person sees it for what it is. Those two people can't go together. Those two people can't date. Trust me on that. You have to find your match, people that can love you for who you are and see what love really is. Because if they believe in the love that social media is out here selling, you have a short-term relationship with no legacy attached to it, and a lot of pain to come in the future. Deciding on who you are going to spend the rest of your life with is detrimental to how your mental and your stress levels are going to be as an older adult. The older you get, the pain that you endure, it takes more out of you. The younger you are, yeah, you could brush it off. You could brush it off. The older you get, any little pain that you take in does damage to you, whether it's mentally, physically. Trust me. So you have to be that much smart. So when you reach these stages, as God will bless you to go on to years and years to come, that what you take in doesn't affect you. That's the real Unbothered's about. Don't let hip hop, because hip hop likes to put a price tag on everything. They put a price tag right next to your toe tag. Don't follow that nonsense. Don't trust me. You can skip out. There's a lot of things going on. We see a lot of people. That's why I tell you, you think this is going to be the last allegations of sexual abuse? Really? No, there's going to be a lot more people coming out because they feel the strength in these times to see what's going on. Now, as far as these lawyers, as far as the It seems like they are after, and it's only to the point where these are big cases, but you have to realize there's only one person big as far as the money in these cases, and usually the celebrity. The other person is usually the person that's the victim. You never see it the other way around, right? So that's the reason why it balances out itself, and it falls into this whole thing of, big companies can't just step on little companies, and it goes for the same in court systems, and that's where things are going. You can't just make a whole bunch of money and abuse your power by hurting your own people. It don't make no sense. You put yourself there. The plot was there, you stepped right into it, and you sat right there. Come on. I tell you, everybody they out here racing for money, this and that, because they see that's what the celebrities, that's what it look like. They're trying to keep up with the imaginary life that these people are presenting. But they ain't showing you how those celebrities' makeup all messed up in their face, looking in the mirror, and they don't know who they are. They ain't showing you that. They're not showing you that their relationships is all based on money. It ain't real love. I told you, there's people that's laying down together at night that don't even love each other. I'm talking about back to back. They back facing each other's back. They don't love each other. They're not making love like you think. They're not doing none of that stuff. None of that. And that's why a lot of some of these guys, they come up in the stage where like it's always take. That's not how life works. You're making love to somebody, you're adding on, and you coming together. A lot of people can't come together because they're so ready and used to being separated. And that's the reason why that relationships and things can't work in these times when people are trying to build, because they have to find a match. They have to find somebody that really have a better understanding of what love is. All these people are dealing with is money, and they still ain't gonna get it. It's not to say that that's a bad thing, but it's how you get it. And when you get it, certain stages of your life, money will count for more better times of your life. The moments that you're going to always remember, always going to be your youngest moments. Those are all, you can't take that away. It's priceless. The older you get, it comes with understanding. So the things that you buy into are going to be more worth it for your next few years that you have to go. These people are living and they're already dead. They died years ago. This is just this is their outside make. What they're presenting to you, their insides, they're dead already. What they're presenting to you is what they just want. They keep up with themselves, to keep up with their money. The few little look, listen. That's just how it works. The choices that you make in life is gonna shape you in your later on years if you can make it there. That's the goal. You got to get there. Don't be like these fools. I see a lot of people, and we are living in a world where it's not everything is going to be fair, but you got to know how to maneuver. You got to know how to get around and understand and read people for who they really are. Stop letting people tell you what it is. No, you go try to figure your things out. I hear that NBA YoungBoy, he receives 2 years in prison. I mean, when is it going to stop? When is the prison trips going to, eventually turn into Paris trips and other trips you can spend with somebody you love or your family, your kids or something like that? When is it going to stop? Seems like NBA YoungBoy don't get it. The thing is, you were on drugs and they got you, man. Once you're in the prison system, it's a cycle. If you was at an older age, you still have a little chance after, I guess, these 2 years to get yourself back together. But if you go back into this hip hop, I guarantee you it's over for you. Right now, Young Thug is fighting to go back to Atlanta. Now, does that seem right to you guys? He's saying to see his family. Are you trying to fool me? You mean to tell me the people that you love can't fly out wherever you're at just to save yourself from that possibility of doing 15 years back in prison? No, I think you really want to go to Atlanta. You want to go back to Atlanta. You can't live in other circumstances in other places because the way you operate, the way you get around is in Atlanta. Atlanta is laxy-daisy. That's why people walk around with guns. It is what it is. Atlanta couldn't come out here in New York because there'd be so many. It's not the same thing. You can't do that. You got to change your life for real. You can't just fool people. When you come out, you can't go back over there with them people. You can't go around felons for 15 years. The deal was already set in place. You took the deal. Before this, you was facing time that you would have never got out. But now you want to turn it around. That's just not how it works. That's not how life works. Don't let these guys fool you. Jail is not a vacation. Prison is not a vacation. I feel like the new prisons, and from this point on, if you say 2025, prison, you could die there. You could die in there. Weinstein over there, he's squealing, man. He can't make it. He complaining about food, this and that. Well, my goodness. You complaining about food? These people don't understand that it's the money that make them don't even see other people out there. This is what Tupac was talking about. It's the greed. I feel like greed is going to be the thing that's going to capture all of these people that thought they had this power. I told you they ain't had no power, man. The people that have the real power, they don't have to go try to hurt their own people. They can by a snap of a finger do what's right and throw some people and get them out of here. Quicker than you think. Quicker than you think. That's how life works. For real. It's all and you really think about all these people boozed up, and they want you to be boozed up, yo. They want you to be drunk and jump online and say whatever you gotta say and go cuss out everybody. That's what they want you to do. So that's how you look. And when you look like that, they paint that picture of you forever that way. Don't give them that yourself. Don't give them that side of you. You can't give yourself out like that cheap. I'm telling you. And a lot of people out here, the way this social media is looking, it's looking like the new ID, y'all. It's looking like the new ID. You know what I mean? People, you can get fired off of this thing from your job, or you can get hired from this thing. So it's how you use it. A lot of these people, they up there trying to fake themselves and come up here and tell you something different. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they got more problems than a little bit. Everything from alcoholism all the way up to that pink stuff. And they're gonna want to tell you something about how you a hater. No, you're not a hater. You're actually smart. You made the right decisions in life. And just because somebody has more money than you, don't mean that they made the right decisions, or if tomorrow their karma is not gonna catch up with them. You keep doing what you're doing, and whatever God has for you, God will bless you with. The blessings ain't in the money. What you could buy with the money? What are you gonna buy with the money? Tell me about it. You could work hard. You and your lady, you could work hard, and whatever she wants, you can get for her. Ain't nothing a man can't get for his lady in these times that's substantial in how we live that he can't work hard for his lady. So what makes you think? You think the guy that just got it easy and throw you a few dollars with all the money in the back care about you? He didn't give you his last. He gave you not even half. He gave you a little pinch, and you ran off like he loved you. And then when 12 o'clock come, that same guy, you can't even nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. You in there with a upside down smile on your face in a dark room. Come on now. Is that love? Or you tell me. You tell me, because what you're looking at might not be what you want. I hate to hear people nowadays saying, oh, they look like a good couple. Look like a good couple. What's that? What's that? Look like a good couple. What is that? The couples I knew, when you see them, you're like, oh, wow, I didn't know you guys were, wow. And they're just breaking it down, and you're like, wow, oh, y'all, this is a match. Not like they look like that. You know what? It's like, some of these couples look like two girls dating, man. The guy too feminine, and he just too, it's like, what's wrong with this world? It's like so crazy, man. I don't know what's up with these people. And then they get on here and they act like they got something that you don't have. And then they try to down you for it. Nah, man. Let me tell you what's going to be an open eye in all of these situations. Every single case that comes up around now, it don't have to be just Diddy. It don't have to be Jay. It's the power. Once they find out you using power outside of what you do, you're taking your money and you're harming people outside in these communities and doing things that can affect people's outside lives besides yourself, that's when you're going to find yourself in prison. Watch what I tell you. It's going to all go under the new RICOs and antitrust. You watch what I tell you. Everybody want to jump on social media. I'm telling you. In a minute, everybody's going to be jumping off of social media, and the ones that's just legit is just going to stay on. Because coming on here is going to be detrimental to you getting in trouble with the law or whatever you got going. How hard is that? The math said, he said 24 years. I just said, you know what, let me see what, it could be possibly her. I mean, like, how hard is that? And then you got these people out here, you know, who are you trying to fool? I always try to say that, who are you trying to fool? Now, you can fool your fans because they love you for something else. But when the more people grow, the wiser they get. So it's like, does it make sense even going about it in the first place anyway? I don't know. I don't know. That's just, it's been on my mind, still on my mind. Like, all of these out. Even I hear Tony Yayo. I seen Yayo. Shouts out to Yayo and Uncle Murder. Big Queens, Big Brooklyn. I seen TMZ. They had caught up with him. I guess they was going on a flight, catching flights, you know, going back and forth, doing what they do on tour with 50 Cent. And Uncle Murder, he said, you know, you think Diddy, you know, Diddy might be making a few calls. And think about it. That could be possibly a possibility. Because you're talking about a guy that's never been in prison before. You think he won't do anything to try to get out of there? So that's what I said. You know, we have to really see where all of this stuff is coming from, because people like to point out and say, oh, it's coming from the content creators. Huh? We didn't sleep with these people. No, it's coming from you guys. The guys the people that you thought kept a secret, the people that was whispering in the other person's ear, yeah, they came from you guys, and it's circled in yours, and that's how it came out to us because of social media. Shut up. Shut up. Some people is as real as they present themselves. Remember that. So yeah, that was an open eye, you know, with Uncle Murder. Yeah, you never know. You never know in these times. If Diddy could be in there trying to get, you know, trying to get himself out, trying to tell everything he know. The food ain't good. Sleeping nightmares probably. He can't get the pink stuff. Yeah, he's telling on everybody. He's telling on everybody. You the one that called him a gangster. I ain't call him a gangster. You call him a gangster, not me. Not me. There's a difference between gangster and a greedy person. Greedy people take advantage of people. Greedy people are the ones that say, oh, no, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you get here, but they just want to sleep with you. Greedy people are deceiving to their own families and the people around them, their friends, because they want to keep people stagnated in that greed. Greedy people are in competition with people that don't even know them. Greedy people are the same people that try to copy what you do and eventually fail. Greedy people are the first people to get hit with karma. Greedy people are the people that will stab you in the back. Greedy people are the people that will paint pictures about you to other people that's not even about you. It's about them. Greedy people will tell your story before you. Do you understand? You got to stay away from these people. They were born with this thing, I got to get mine, until they ain't got anything else but the coffin left. They didn't understand that how you treat people, how you socialize with people, the things you leave within people's hearts, those are the things that last forever. Not the body and flesh. It's the soul. You see all these people come on here, they got some nerve to talk righteous with their devilish ways. Lucky something don't strike them down. Have them open the Bible. Let me tell you something. If they could sell you something for the Bible, they probably doing it now. I'm talking about that's how wicked some of these people are. They don't got no guidance. So the only thing they're looking for is money. When they get the money, they give it right back. They feel good. That makes them feel good. It makes them feel good. Slapping on a couple chains, telling you ain't got nothing, that makes them feel good. So why don't you play along with it and go on with your day? Don't let it upset you, because it doesn't upset you. You look, the things that make us who we are not the things that make them who they are. They have to buy into those things. For us, it's natural. So when we hear these allegations, of course, it's like, how could this be? What are you talking about? What did I miss? And then you hear these things from the people that was once around them, their people, and they get mad at us. Does that make sense? Well, you're dealing with the wrong one, because I'm not with that, and I'm very sharp on what I do. I'm not going to just go speak on somebody unless there's some kind of information, and I'm not just going to turn a victim down. Can you get me on that? We've seen people taking advantage. There's a lot of women in the industry right now that's covering up tears and been hiding tears because they've been taken advantage from these bozos. Guys like Diddy, and these guys are bozos. They're on their last leg. If the young boys in these times knew what those guys were doing in those times, they would have wiped them out a long time. You couldn't do that to these young boys. That's why you got to respect the Gen Z too. You got to respect, and in this time, they ain't having that. The youth ain't really having that either. They're not having that. They're not having Uncle Diddy and Uncle Kelly come down to their school and try to snatch up one of their girlfriends. Nah, they put the hammer to them. You crazy? They upping it for that. They upping it for that. Come on now. You can't, and then they sit there and act like, oh, they holier than that. Look, listen. Trust me. The same guy that could give you a turkey every year could be the same guy that's taking something from you that you don't want him to sexually abuse your daughter or your son. Don't be fooled. Just because he shake your hand with this hand don't mean he got a knife or his fingers crossed behind his back. Wake up, y'all. You know where we from. You know what we do. You know how we do. And you know people, and yet you know people that do anything to people just to get over on people. We've seen it before. Don't let these people fool you. I told you, when you see people crowd around and hover around the game and they got the bottle caps, walk past the game. Don't stop. Because entertainment, and it'll cost you. It will cost you your life. Everybody want to be entertained. Nobody want to learn something. You see how quickly, and within 2 to 3 years, they made educational look like a money grab. They made it look like your student loan is going to take your life, and your student loan you're going to be paying for the rest of your life. How about the alcoholism? How about the bullets and the gun violence? How about that stuff? How about when you in college, you spend a certain amount of your time away from all of that stuff? Why are they trying to push you close to it? Why are they trying to tell you education ain't no good? Because those bozos out there, even though they got the money, they can't even count it. They got half a brain. And then they tell you that they have bad deals. No, you didn't read it. You didn't read it. Who said you have to sign something for you to sell what God gave you? Come on, man. A lot of people's music sound more intelligent than they actually are because they only know how to put words together and they don't know how to make the solution of figuring it out. These are the facts that people do not want to talk and tell you about. They don't want to tell you like that because they feel embarrassed at this point in the stage of their life. And how many guys in hip hop that, what do the young folks say now? Zesty? They say zesty. They say zesty. You know, how the guys are zesty. Those are bisexual men. Zesty, I don't care what you want to call it. Those are bisexual men. The youth don't know there's men out there that's bisexual sleeping with both sides. Come on. And they do it and they hurting people. Day to day, they hurting people. You think that if Diddy didn't get caught for this, that he wouldn't have did it to one of the youth or one of these female artists coming up in this time? You think he wouldn't have did that? He started working on Young Miami. She didn't even know what hit her. She thought she was doing something or taking a little bit from him. Meanwhile, he was a billionaire. The little bit of crumbs that that he served you, sweetheart, ain't gonna be enough for what he take from you and your soul. Don't look for something that you don't want. Don't look for that. I'm telling you. If you're a female, you don't look for no other man then you think he ain't giving you what he got. He giving you a piece to take all of you. Your own people. Don't be fooled by that. Don't go searching for love in these crazy places and all these wicked places and then expect to come out with something out of it. It might look good, but it ain't gonna feel good. It ain't gonna feel good. All these demons, they dressing up like they're good people and they regular people and they're selling you their nonsense. They even try to be like us, the good people, and try to speak like us with the energy turns, but they're trying to fool you because that's all they know how to do is deceive you. See, once the message keep going and it goes and it lands in the heart of people, you'll never be fooled again. I don't care how many people or how many people don't share it. Share it. Share the video because somebody gonna get something out of it and they ain't gonna be fooled by them bozos. Just because you have a lot of money don't mean you can hurt somebody and treat people like that, man. That ain't because the people that got you there to those high pedestals, they still loved you and thought you were somebody that you really wasn't. So don't you dare come with your problems that you grew up with, your struggles that you grew up with, and expect people to go through it just because you didn't give them a clear sense or clear eyes how to get out of their struggle. You're wicked. You're wicked. And just because you're hurt, you want other people to be hurt too. You're wicked. And that's the reason why karma always fill their cup. That's why good people like us, we can't understand it. We feel like, oh, they're taking advantage of them. We don't know what's going on. But by the grace of God, that's how it's going down. You can't keep doing that. It's just like the earth. You can't keep beating up the earth and putting garbage and hitting the earth with it. Eventually, what's going to happen? All the animals going to die, and the fish will be intoxicated by drugs that the mules throw in the water, and then the fish start getting all that in their bloodstream, and now you can't eat. And now all the food is contaminated. Yeah, it's because when you chase them people and they dump off all the coke in the water, it contaminated the fish. You didn't know that? And they take the same fish and ship it over, and now people are getting sick. You didn't know that? You didn't know that. You didn't get that. You didn't get how that the earth is the only thing that's going to keep us alive, not the money. You didn't know that? If they want to kill you, all they got to do is give you a key of sugar. Forget about coke. A key of sugar. You put that in the middle of the hood and everybody's dying. You got to start paying attention to what's going on. That's all I'm saying. What you think could possibly not be true could be true. Could be true. And what they're saying is true could be possibly just painted. Probably not even that. And that's why we're seeing things the way we see it. And we don't even, right now, they talking about, oh, we've been hacked. Oh, watch out for this. They're just telling you that because they don't want no big lawsuits. A lot of these places y'all signed up to, all these little deals, these little coupons that's been coming in your email, that's been taking all y'all information. They've been selling it to so many different people for billions of dollars that some guy in Russia probably got our name. They probably got triples and 4 different type of people with all of our names. Come on, oh, we're going to give y'all some money. We're going to give y'all some money. The money don't hush us up. So what you give us a little money? You give me the money, I give it to my people so they can do good with their life. I give it away. Get out of here with that, man. You crazy? I don't need that to survive. I got this. They need that to pay their bills because they done accumulated so much nonsense bills. That got about 30 cars in their house looking so stupid. Couldn't even give you 30 stamps on their passport, but they got 30. It's crazy stuff going on, man. People buying up a bunch of nonsense and believing a whole bunch of nonsense that's going on. All of that's fake, y'all. They knew the youth grew up. The youth grew up on social media, so that's how they gonna feed y'all. They gonna feed y'all the nonsense, man. Trust me. When we was all complaining about how negative stuff travel fast, guess who was putting the gas in that plane? Them. Yeah, negative travel fast, but they make a lot of money too. They ain't tell you that. They make a lot of money too. Because we can tell in hip hop. They make a lot of money too. You see now Floyd Mayweather, he go out there and they rush him up. Big boxer, they rush him up now because it's what he said about the Jews. People missed out on that, huh? He spoke bad. You see when Floyd, a lot of Floyd's probably his money, his banking Jews control him. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But now when you go out to these places where they having problems with the Jews, yeah, you might have some friction over that. Might be a little bit of friction over that. It's things that, and people think that this power can't be snatched from him. It's your life. Once your life is out of here, you think that money's going to divvy up to? That's just going to go to the family? You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. These people have agendas set for different people. So while you think that you're going up, really what you're doing is you're just hitting the same ceiling. Because the more you go up, the more things get more expensive. Don't you see the trick? In 2025, there'll probably be more people going bankrupt than we ever even could imagine, just because they didn't realize or understand, wait, where was my money being placed and who have control of this, and that? Remember I told you, it's just like having a whole bunch of subscriptions. You look back at your bills, half of the stuff you could cross out, you really don't really need. And that's what, it's not just saving money. You got to save your time. You got to save a lot of things. It's more than just money. It's your energy, who you are. It's a time and place for everything. Maybe your part of the movie didn't come yet. Just wait for your time to jump in and get in the character and do what you got to do, where you best placed at. Everybody want to be the star. Meanwhile, the star is the one that's going to get killed in the end. It's just how life works. If you be good to people, then that energy will always translate, and people will want to be, they want to be more than that to you. They want to be even better to you. But if you hurt people here, hurt people there, use your power here, scare people here, what do you think? When the bully gets striked, people going to act like they ain't see it. That's how life works. So when I tell you this situation with Jay-Z and this whole behind the scenes, we don't know enough to even speak on it until more information is being presented. Now, if we see more, it's just like with Diddy. When Diddy was saying, I'm sorry, this and that, and then the video came out. It's just like, so let's rewind back to the sorry. Just make sure you have all your things in order when it comes to this. This ain't about us looking at us and wondering what's going on. No, this is about your life. Did you do it or didn't you do it? And if you didn't do it, why are these people doing that to you? And why are they pointing the finger at you? If everything is, don't just cop out and say it's just for money. Because everything ain't just for money. These things have connections to it. These things have connections to it. They do. Now, it seems like people have this thing of, they're only taking down this race or this race. No, it's not really that. Trust me, there's a lot of white folks going through this too. The abuse of power, forcing people to do things, and behind the scenes, taking money for this, putting money into that. It's going on. It's happening. It's just what we more attached to the names that we know, but it doesn't mean that so don't take it like that. It's not that. There's a certain time and a place where race plays a big part. It's just not this. Race can't fight the money. Not in America. It just can't fight it. I've seen the racial issues try to fight the money. It went in the ring and got knocked out. Even if a guy that's racist against a black person, if a black person give him $1 million, he'll take it. He'll take it. So listen and pay attention. That don't every point. There's certain times when race plays a part in certain things. Like, oh nah, they just because hey, we God made. At the end of the day, this is God's skin, baby. I thank God that I'm black. But that at the end of the day, it's not just about race. It's about greed, the money. These are the things that made the world take a different eye to caring about health. And remember, I always tell you guys, health and technology. When you start seeing them lean more towards technology, you kind of got to be scared. Don't think that you're going to have the best things come out of technology. Technology, yeah, it does cure. It gets patterns and things, and it's been an add to solving in the medical world. It's been an add to it, and it's been helping out a lot of people. But on the other side, the destruction and all the other stuff that it could make up, and those are the things that could possibly be more detrimental. Now, when you come to the, you're dealing with health and people that care. It's more of I want to find a solution. Those are the people that you should always invest your time and energy into, because they want to find something beyond what they see in front of them. Not just trying to make more on the dollar, That's just a number. It's like stocks. It go. A lot of people lose themselves trying to be somebody because they never found themselves in the first place. And in between this whole, and they bopping and they going like life ain't happening. And meanwhile, you hear their story and their whole family messed up, and this so-and-so talking about him. They can't agree. He took his money. The attorneys took it. A whole bunch of stuff going on. But they want to get up on here and try to talk down on you. You know why? Because they hurt. They hurt too. They hurt. They hurt that they feel like they made it to a point and they it felt like they blow it. That must be a mother, boy. Wow. That's a mother effer. See how you treat people and how everything is like, to me, everything is just like a reflection in these times. Whoever, whatever you are, what you want, or you claim to be, you're one of these days you get that reflection and it just all turns back on you and you just see your whole life right in front of you and you just like, oh, these are the reflections and these are the things and the influences and the things that led me to this point. It's all about a reflection. I don't ever have to fake who I am to jump on here and to chop it up with people that I never met before. All you have to do is be your authentic self. So when I tell you that sometimes we got to get more information in these times going on, because there's going to be a lot more of this. There's this stuff. There's going to be a lot more of this. Be truthful to people, and then in the end you won't have to worry about these things. And I don't know, man, because a lot of people, it's almost like this laziness to saying, oh, they, without calling the person name out. I never had a problem with calling people name out. I call it out. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You're not the toughest in the world. I've been telling people that, like, what some people, look, listen, man. People will be doing too much on social media, and that's the reason why they get themselves caught up, because the play is already set in place when they see how you react to certain situations. There's a lot of people on here smarter than other people, and there's people you can learn from and learn new things from. And that's where it all comes to. You got to be very careful out here, man, especially with social media and people painting pictures of you and you're not agreeing with what they painted. You got to take a look back on yourself and see where you probably went wrong to make these people think that way. Don't always point the finger like it's something. No, you're dealing with a big world and people have their opinions on whatever is going on. You said Jayz and Diddy is innocent. My opinion, false allegations. Yeah, I can't knock you, because to be honest with you, you didn't say no, you didn't say any lie. You didn't say one lie, because when I look at it, it's kind of like, what's being charged here? This not the evidence is like it's all bunched up. It's a mess. To be honest, you didn't say a lie. If you have your own opinion, and I respect that. I feel like Jay has more innocence in his, and I feel like Diddy, there's a little bit more. There's a little more guilt as far as him in his character, but I haven't, as far as criminal, if you're dealing with the Cassie, we've seen that in our face-to-face, and we've seen that on video, but everything else, I haven't seen like a substantial amount of evidence. I've heard things and heard that he did this, he did that to so-and-so, but we haven't seen evidence to say, so it's a tricky situation. It's a mess. It's a mess. Now, if you want to go off on how people feel, I don't think that is... that's not enough. But I have a feeling, it seems like every time, though, if you guys started to realize, like every time they are really paying attention to what people are asking for, and anytime there's something like this come up, usually lawyers will drop more evidence to give a better standing with the people that don't see things clearly. And if they don't have that, usually it's a bluff. It's a bluff. Poker game bluff. And these are not the time to be bluffing and playing with people, because look, and it's just like Jayz said in this thing, he has a family, just like all of us have a family, but it's just nowadays on social media, these things are detrimental to those people. They got businesses and whatever going on, and people don't want to deal with people with that type of tag on them. So when you just put the allegations and stain up a person's character, that's not fair. That's not fair. Guilty or not, that's not fair. It's not fair until you prove it. Until you prove it, you gotta prove it. I don't care what anybody say, you have to still prove it. And that part of it is not right. It's not right because they do have a family, and yeah, we know the family. Beyonce, Blue, Sir, and I guess whoever else, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like everything is being put on social media for everybody, and it kind of works against him in a way. And I'm hoping he's keeping level-headed about this, because being that he's not so much on social media, being that he's not so much talkative, doesn't work in his favor when people are with these speculations, because now it looks even more like he's a sneaky man. And it just, everything is, I'm just kicking it to you guys on how I feel, and just keeping it 100 with it, because it's not like I love Jay. I love Jay and his music a lot. It's not like I didn't see a lot of bad in the guy. Like, he didn't, at least his wrongs and stuff like that wasn't always televised, I could say. So I'm not saying that nobody's perfect, but I didn't see that in him. So now it's just like Diddy. It's only after, when I think back now, I'm like, yeah, I could see that. These moves he made with Diddy, I can see. But with Jay, it's still a little iffy still. It's still iffy, And I hear everything from them putting things together and putting numbers together. But it still feels iffy. It still feels like y'all don't have a substantial amount of evidence. And being that you don't have enough, you just want to stain and let people know something about something, like if there's smoke, there's fire there. And that's that right there. That right there is that's a sense of greed in a way, I think too. That's a sense of greed. But if the only thing that can make this whole thing solid and make the world at roar is if the person just say, you know what, okay, I'm going to show my face, I'm going to tell my story, and this is what it is, I'm going to fight my fight. That is the only way. If it's going to be somebody hiding without showing their face, I just can't stand behind you, because it took enough guts for me to come up here and speak on these people that I don't even know and give it to you on how I grew up. So I'm not going to just put that away just for some speculation. I can't do that. It takes enough for a person to come up here and try to bring people together on something positive for me to go over there and just start pointing the finger and do something negative like that. It don't make no sense at all pointing the finger unless you have the right evidence. And that's just how I feel on it. I know there's going to be more coming up on it, and we'll wait to see what's going on. But from this point, at this certain particular time, it just don't seem right. That's the last I have on it. Even though I told you there's possibilities, that's the only possibility that came amongst my head when I totaled the numbers, 30, she's 37 now, and 24 years, she would have been 13, and she dealt with Ray J, maybe, so we probably hear more about this in, these days to come. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, y'all. Man. I'm just hoping that, we can get out of all of this fake promotion, fake do anything to get money type of mentality. Even if you're an artist, man, God has blessed you to make, money with your music. Stop taking other people's dreams, selling people these things that other people want to do, and now you're stepping in front of the people that's trying to come up. It's just so messy. Everybody trying to do what everybody, turn into this big like hustle mentality. I don't want to hear none of that. That's the reason why I keep a lot of things personal, as far as how, certain things, how my money is being made, and how I have certain things I put my money into. It's because of that whole that money, I gotta get it stuff. I'm not a part of that. Don't ever want to be a part of it. And it's just like, it's like that vulture mentality. I don't even want to deal with that type of nonsense. It's just not me, and this is not a place where I feel like you can prosper in that type of stuff, because you don't even see the ceiling that you're gonna bump your head into. So I'd rather just do it the way I do it. Do it the way I do it, man. What else? Let me see. There's another thing I've seen that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh, just shout out to you guys got to really check out the people that's really trying to build some new platforms. So fan base, with Isaac, he's trying to build something, and we should all give all platforms a shot. Give all platforms a shot. You see your people trying to build something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll try to do a live, or maybe I wonder if I can, from fan base, connect this live with that. You know how people connect the lives and everybody can see it? That'd be cool. I would love to do that. What y'all say? I do believe, look, okay, so somebody says, wait, what happened to believe all women? We were ready to get every man out of here a few years ago, but now that someone no. You might have got me confused, or maybe you was just saying it to say it. But let me tell you like this. It's not like, okay, it's not about just believe all women. That is not the way of going about it. Believe all women. Women are human beings just like men. And us both, men and women, tell lies, make mistakes, try to get things out of people. But what we do see, and the reason why we uplift our queens, is because you guys get taken advantage more. It's easier for a person to take advantage of a woman because of the power being put in certain people's positions, and women not be able to have a voice in certain outcomes that can, lead to them, bettering themselves and getting ahead because of people that use their power and take from them. So when you say that, it's not, don't think I don't rep for my ladies. Number one, just a quick gist. I grew up with my grandmother, my mom. They raised me. My grandfather. I had a lot of even my dad. Everybody might not be always together, but it doesn't mean that you can't take from certain people. Everybody's story is different, and the way people love is different. I got love for the ladies, and I rep for the people. I rep not just only for the ladies, also the men. There's a lot of men, females, you have to understand that too, that are victims. And we're not necessarily, when you say I've been a victim, some people will look at that as a weakness. Not knowing that victim could be the same person come around and what up. But what I'm trying to tell you is, of course, you always have to rep for the women and give the person that you feel like is there and they trying to treat him like this, you lift them up. But at the end of the day, we know there's some people that's down there that's hurt and that tells these stories, and it could be a lie. Just like I've seen great women, I've seen some really horrible women they've been raised in a way where they feel like they have to get something out of a man. It's how you've been raised, and you can't just you have to present evidence, whether you're a man or a woman, to present your truth. You can't just automatically, because you never know people. And it's not that if you know me, it's not the celebrity stuff that really, I look past that stuff, man. I'm too old to be, just because I like somebody as far as their music or their celebrity or their actor, that I'm gonna look past them hurting or doing something to, a 13 or 16 or just something. That's not me. That's not me at all. We only live once, and I'm not gonna. I will refuse. See, a lot of people, they look at these celebrities in a godly way because they don't have no God. They don't have no religion at home, and they're lost people anyway. I would never, ever, ever cross out the victim over somebody just because they have tons of money. This is what I fight for. This is what I came on here to fight for, to let you guys know. The people that you was thinking that, had this and that, there was a ghostwriter over there. There was a guy that painted that before he did. That nice shirt that you thought that they blew up off of, they stole that creation from this person. That's why I came here, to let you know. The people that you might see up there might be just the person that took it from the next person. So I never ever would get on here and just throw my ladies out the window and say everybody. I'm not that type of man. You're dealing with somebody different. It's obvious that I'm not on here doing that. I would never ever do that. I would never. That's disrespecting. That is like disrespecting my mother and the people that raised me, that I really love. Like, I would never do that. I know the wickedness of a man because I'm a man. I know the wickedness men do. I know that some men try to save face and they get up there and they try to paint this whole, but I would never be that way. So I always stand tall for my ladies. If you ever came in contact with me or knew a person or female that I ever dated, they'll tell you the same. It's a different type of thing. It's not all men that, when you get behind the doors, the only thing you learn from them is sex. Some of them, when you get behind those doors, you take something with you, whether you stay with them for the rest of your life or not. And there's something that they'll never forget. So I would never want to present myself as something that I'm not. So me being here and standing on my truth, this is how I am. This is how I am, and this is how I actually feel. It doesn't matter who the celebrity is. I'm not really intrigued by all of that stuff anymore. When I was a little kid and I was at in my younger stages, all of that stuff, it seemed like, that was prosperous, and that was the thing. That was almost like a certain form of paradise on earth. Just having to be that. But then the older you get, you start to understand that the things that come with that, and certain things that people did to get to those certain points, were never ever worth it. It's kind of like have your fun now and live a shorter life, or understand what life is really about and then live a longer journey to tell it and express it to the people who really need it. So that's the real reason why when you see a person like me here talking, even though some people like to take here and there and it might sound like the same conversation, it'll never be the same Mickey Made It conversation, because I respect all my females and women. And let me tell you something. If there's ever a female that there's, you know, some guy or somebody did that to you, there's so many ways that I can make videos on how y'all can protect yourself. I told you guys, if you go back a couple lives, I told you what you should do about making journals and leaving things in your life that's dear to you, and always having somebody to trust around you. Those are for the women too, to let you know that, you know, when you find your trust in somebody else, you don't got to be like these women lost and looking for something. When you're looking for something, you're going to find it. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to end up in these places like these females like, I didn't know I was drugged. Yeah, you didn't know you was drugged because you was lost before you went into the club. That's the reason why. So I would never ever just cross out my ladies. I always like to big the ladies up, because women played a big part in my life and who I am and the way I think. So I would never ever, you know, disrespect the ladies over some guy that's just trying to be overpowered with greed. Like I told you, what a lot of these dudes think is cool, it's not really cool to me. It's actually disrespectful, and a lot of it is ignorance. So it will never cross that way to me. Yeah, I know, but you have to understand, a lot of people is gonna look over at Jay-Z, because you have to understand, but we can't just knock Jay-Z out like he just didn't do anything. He's not just like a guy that just we met yesterday. Jay-Z has, you see, the thing is, let's just bring it back a little bit. Jay-Z's influence on the culture, from his time, his arrival with his first album to the moves he's made up to this point, it has been a great journey. It hasn't been like Jay-Z has oftentimes like led people the wrong way with his music. If a lot of Jay-Z's music and a lot of the things that Jay-Z did kind of reflects on how you can have some kind of, you know, a little bit of a little discipline in how you present yourself as an artist, not being always in the camera, not just talking about every topic just because it's going to sell some money, and really like sticking to what he believed in. That's what we've seen out of him. So when I see people backing him, it's nothing. Don't feel bad when somebody is backing Jay-Z, because that's what they're supposed to. We are supposed to do these things, because he's never showed that to us. That's understandable. But don't get mad at people for just fanning out. Sometimes I want to tell people, you didn't see that, you didn't understand, but everybody don't see things the same. You might see something different. You might see something different. But the person over there, your friend that you took to the concert that was just dancing all day, they had the time of their life and they didn't see any of that. So you have to understand that you can't really just want people to wipe away and say today, we don't like Jay-Z. No, that man has done a lot. I think his influence kind of overweighed a lot of the things people talk about. And this is, we're here now. We're here now. We're here now. So don't do that to everybody, because it's hard for people to just wake up one day and say, oh, I don't like Michael Jackson, when they, it's not easy. We all human here, and we gotta be fair. We gotta be fair. We have to understand that the people that are saying some of these allegations, you don't even see the person's face. And a human to human connection, we at least want to have that. We don't even see that. So you can't expect people to just off the back just start representing a ghost and start saying he did it, So I understand that part too. Don't get mad at people, because people, we love Jay-Z. Don't get mad at people for that. Don't do 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 that. Please don't do that, because we don't have the full information. We don't know what's what yet. So don't do that. I know you're gonna, that's what comes with celebrity. That's their benefits. You gotta give the celebrities their benefits. Their benefits is that we see them, we love them, and some of us might look at them and feel they can't do wrong. They get their little benefits too. You gotta give them a little something, They did entertain us, so we do feel like we know them in that sense. So then when you see other people saying, no, he didn't do this, you can't get mad at them. People are people. People are people. That's just how it is. You can't let that stuff blind you to what you believe in. If you believe something different, you believe that. But just don't, I don't get mad at other people. We don't know these things. We don't really know what's going on. So let's just try to keep it to a point where we just trying to find more in the situation or some kind of understanding of it. But I don't want to point the finger at Jay like that. That's not fair. That's not fair. We got to be fair about it. Okay, you personally think Jay could do anything. However, I see the hypocrisy, how he's being handled as opposed to others. Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why there's a the reason why Jay-Z is being handled different than a Diddy is because of his character. And like I told you guys, your character is gonna say a lot more for you unless somebody else comes around and speaks on your character. And yes, he is supposed to get treated different because what he is an artist, Diddy's a producer. His accomplishments, he exceeded what a hip hop artist can, he made other artists say, oh, I can be, even if he didn't make his $1 billion in music. We know that. But for the youth, a lot of people don't know that. So if they look up and see now and they say, well, I can be a billionaire too, he is somebody that you can put up there and say, because it's not like that's what I'm trying to tell you. Look, Diddy was more of a person all in the camera. He's dating, he's going with the young people, and Jay was more in the back. We heard things like even when it came down to you thought you had Jay in the elevator with Beyonce and Solange. Even when you look at that, it ain't much. It ain't much. Think about it. Jay was like this. Think about it. In your heart, think about it. Think about it. And that's the reason why people you can't treat everybody the same, right? I'm not gonna just treat the drill rapper like I treat the like the uplifting rapper, the righteous. I'm not. It's just that's how it is. So don't look at it like that. Maybe take another look at it. Take another look at Jay. Take another look at him. And even if these things can come out in the future or something, God forbid, go the wrong way, then from that point on, you can look back and say, oh well, this is where. But don't just paint that picture. Don't keep that picture of somebody like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I hear a lot of things too, and I understand. People are in love with other people for when it comes down to celebrity and it comes down to people, regular average people, and they're in a little fuss, it's always going to be something like that. It's always going to be people having their back because they love them for other things besides of the situation. You can't knock people. People are only people. So we just got to wait to see how that whole thing turns out. I know it, and they handle them different, and I think you have to earn your handle in hip hop, and just as a person, you have to earn your handle. You have to earn trust with people. You have to do people right to earn these type of things. So when it was the Ali Vegas bar, he says, so when the cops hover, your people's arrive for you. So even though we all we all doing things are happening, and when them other people come in how good you are to the people that was around you, in turn would tell how they represent you and fight for you when those people try to come get you. So you have to earn your trust. I take that as earn your trust with people. Take it from one person, one friend to friend. And that's how you build up to a person. So when somebody say, oh, Mickey is this, or Mickey's a hater, or he ain't got this, he ain't got that, they're going to jump in for me. They're going to say, no, he wasn't. Nah, I know Mickey. That guy, he's loving-hearted dude. He always was doing this thing from a young age, and he's still doing this thing now. They're gonna tell the real me what they know about me. And they're going to back me no matter if that shorty over there says, yo, I did her wrong, I did this and that. I would never in my lifetime get those type of accusations. It's just because the people around me are people that I love. But at the end of the day, God forbid, now with social media to tell anything on anybody, let's say that they're gonna ride for me. They're gonna ride for me. So you build that. Jay built that up with people. He built that type of understanding with people that he set his boundaries from an early stage as an artist. Because you got to remember, when Jay-Z came in the game, he was a little older than a lot of these guys that's coming in at younger ages. So he had a little more smarts, a little wiser when it came down to business and how he wanted to be dealt with and operated, the people he wanted to sell his music to. That was all calculated. Those are all of the things that comes with you just being disciplined. Now, as far as people being handled, some people get handled real crazy. You know, some people, because they go out there like a clown, and when they try to be serious, nobody can take it serious because it's just, they don't have no seriousness in their resume saying, oh, well, you took that serious, or when George Floyd, you stood up for that. You don't see none of that. All you see these people is standing up for the money. When you do that, you have no ground to stand for in the black communities, in life, period, because people are not going to really, you're just there. You're just like, you know, just passing through, you know, it's just, you know, that's just how it goes. So you can take from that how you work around people and how you build your handle around people is how, in the end, if God forbid something should ever come out to call you out no different, people will ride for you. So I don't expect no different when it comes to artists like Jay-Z or big artists like that. Diddy was a big mogul, and he got handled different. And the reason why Diddy got handled different, because we heard a lot of things, and before we saw the video, we heard things about how, you know, he was doing people dirty in their contracts, and, you know, just a couple of his moves, and we hear things, and then like, why would he treat somebody like that with all that money? It's own, and you start hearing it's his own people, and blocking people, dating other people, girls, and looking over there trying to take this from somebody, and you start to realize, yo, this is this guy's character. And that's the reason why Diddy now, when people say, yo, he eating turkey or whatever, they calling out his dinner plate for Christmas and Thanksgiving, that's why he get handled like that, because the people that he handled in an abusive way. So that's the reason why that happens. Everybody get their difference, you know, and how they get handled. It's how you treat people is how people in the end would treat you. That's how it goes. One of the sad situations is the Wendy Williams. You know, in her time, gossip and talking about this stuff and talking about what people were doing wrong and the things that were going on behind the scenes, they made it look in them times like you was doing something that was like a strike religion. And now in these times when it comes so normal, and now they handle her different. So now what happened to the people that handled her wrong? Were they wrong? Yeah, they were wrong. They were wrong because if you're not, look, if that, you could tell how life works. Everything that you deem to be so much bad, as if you don't fix these things and you don't see the real truths in these things, it becomes the norm. Time and time again, this has been proven. You see a lot of people getting killed every day. Then after a while, you don't flinch no more. You don't flinch when the shot goes off. You get used to it. That's just how life works. The younger you are, the quicker it is for older people to fool you with new things that's old to them. Wake up. Wake up. It's a cycle. There's nothing you guys are going to do that's that much different than what has already been done. And if that is the case, then we're looking at a whole new future, but I don't see that right now in what I'm seeing. I don't see that. I see a lot of confusion, people not trusting each other, and I see a lot of people just taking advantage of people, and all of this has to stop. So that's the reason why today's morning, this live show is it's special, because for the people out there, that you're going to have two sides. I'm so glad you said that. You're going to have two sides. But it's not like a choose your side. The thing is, just make sure the information that comes in, you can figure it out and have some kind of understanding in it. I'm not standing behind nobody that don't stand behind me. I'm not stupid. You think I'm stupid? Only stand behind them when they need help. Oh, so we blackity, black. And then when you need some help and building something, they don't even know who you are. They get out of here. That's the reason the election went the way it went. They got their behinds kicked for not coming together. And that's what happens when you can't come together. You can't find no time to find something that's going to be sustainable that can help everybody. Everybody always bickering. And while the bickering is going on, them wicked people is back there doing the wickedness to them people children. They're the first people over there, and it's a damn shame. And I remember Diddy talking about how he hired somebody from Yale. They're the first people to talk bad on education. Meanwhile, they sleeping with the people that's in high school. And come on, I'm sick and tired of that nonsense. That type of stuff you could miss me on. I would never, ever agree with anybody that want to go with that nonsense. It's a short life, short-term thinking, and you'll never, no matter how much money you feel like you have, you'll never have that status, because people will look at you dead in the eye for who you exactly are. You can't fool nobody out here. I told you this was going to happen. It's these old school tricks and these old school nonsense they've been using, that these new school developments and like chat GPTs, they're catching these people so quick. They was bound to fail. Why do you think they ducking? Why do you think they're ducking? Because they know this information could be brought up. They got the big man in prison. They got the big man in detention right now. Did he start talking? He'll turn the world around. You think he don't got no info when he sober himself up? Yeah, he know a lot of secrets. Don't think it's over. Nah, it ain't over. It's just beginning. It's just beginning. The fight ain't over until we say it's over. There ain't no lawsuits in the world. Ain't none of that going. You ain't blocking nobody. You ain't sending nobody. And you send somebody to send it back. Trust. There's nobody scared of anybody in these times. Didn't you see how these guns prove that? Okay, how tough you think you are. I look right in your face and smile. People don't scare people. Just be truthful. Live your truth. Don't be like these people, man. Don't be like these people. And a little word to Mayweather out there, man. Be careful, man. Don't let them, you do a lot of spending, and that's good. I see your lifestyle, but is that your lifestyle though? Be careful of what you say out there. And don't forget your people. Don't forget your own people. I know you hold it down though, because I know Mayweather, he did something for New York. He did some housing and stuff. It's just we don't want to see our own people hurt like that. The people, the last bit of leaders we have left are the last bit of people that that exceeded in whatever they do to inspire people. So I want you guys to take that with you, man. And this is gonna be if anything drops new on these situations, I would definitely jump back on here and I'll give you my take on it and what's been going on. But don't be fooled. You're gonna see a lot of people in these times but just trying to paint this picture, everybody's trying to paint this new picture of themselves. It's almost like surgery on their image. Don't feed into none of that nonsense. What they did in the past, those are the things that's going to define who they are. And because they know a lot of the stuff that they've been hiding, they knew with all of this technology, it was going to come up. They knew it was going to come up. So we got to fight it out and see who wins in the end. But as far as jumping on people's sides, I'm not with that. I just tell you guys how I feel. And I'm not influenced by this whole celebrity things. I'm too old for that. Don't think everybody's like that. It's nonsense. Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, please like and share this stuff. It means a lot to me.